Amiibo!
There's no denying it at this point. Amiibo are flying off the shelves and becoming the hottest gaming accessory in a very long time. Nintendo's Toys to Life figures are becoming extremely hard to find both in stores and online, and are driving collectors like myself insane. If you were to tell someone Amiibo would become Nintendo's most popular item in years after the reveal at E3 2014, I guarantee you no one would believe you. They'd probably tell you, get the fuck out of here, are you out of your goddamn mind? But that's the case, people are absolutely crazy for Amiibo, and there are stats to back it up. In a recent report, it showed that since their initial release date back on November 21st, 2014, Amiibo have sold an astounding 10.5 million units. Now let's have a little fun and do some math to get a rough estimate of how much money that is brought in for Nintendo. Amiibo sell at an MSRP of $12.99 here in the United States. So if you paid attention in 3rd grade, this should be simple enough. 10.5 million units times $12.99 comes out to be around $136,395,000. Now obviously this is just an estimate, and I'm sure there are fees and other things like deducting the production costs, but you get the point. It's a lot of money. So with the unexpected success of Amiibo, it seemed that it would only be a matter of time until we got a game that fully revolved around the figures. And on April 30th, 2015, we received Amiibo Tap, Nintendo's Greatest Bits. Amiibo Tap, Nintendo's Greatest Bits, is a free application on the Nintendo eShop that allows you to scan in any Amiibo to receive a gift. Each gift contains an NES or SNES game, ranging from classics like Super Mario World, The Legend of Zelda, and Super Metroid, to more obscure titles like Mach Rider, Balloon Fight, and Kirby's Dream Course. Once a game is unlocked and booted up, you have 180 seconds to play through a scene in said game. Each game has a variety of different scenes, and can be switched to at any time by tapping that same Amiibo. Each game differs with what kind of scenes it has. For example, F-Zero allows you to race through a few tracks that the game has to offer, but in a game like A Link to the Past, most scenes will have you face off against bosses from various dungeons, making it feel more like a boss rush mode. It's an interesting concept to say the least. However, the scenes feel very lackluster. 3 minutes to play a little snippet of a game doesn't really leave you feeling satisfied. It just makes you wonder why you're not playing the full game. It's kind of like the masterpieces in Smash Bros. You get a time limit to play a game, but once it's over you wonder what the point of that was. Amiibo Tap suffers in the fact that it does nothing to spice up these retro games. The NES Remix series is a great example of how old games can be given new life by adding a little twist. Simply changing up the rules or adding a different goal to a classic game can breathe new life into it. I think a way Amiibo Tap could have lasted a little longer and given it more replay value would be to add some kind of online leaderboard functionality. The game could keep all of its normal scenes, but at the end of them, add a final remix kind of stage, similar to the World Championship mode in the NES Remix games, where players could try to get their highest score or play through the levels as fast as possible, then upload their scores to an online leaderboard and compare them with others. I know it seems like I'm nitpicking this game just a little too much for being a free download, and I can't expect too much out of it. But when you look at it, in order to play the games, you need at least one Amiibo, so indirectly, you are paying something, so a little bit more would be appreciated. Aside from the gameplay, one thing that struck me kind of weird was the games that you get when you scan an Amiibo. When you scan one of your figures into the game, it is then linked to one of 30 random games. So say you scan a Mario figure, you have a chance of getting a Mario game like Mario World or Super Mario Bros. However, it's not guaranteed. So in turn, every Mario figure is not going to have the same game. I guess this does make sense in some ways, in which it encourages players to scan their friend's Amiibo in order to get all the games, but a lot of people might expect to say, get a Legend of Zelda game, when they scan a Link Amiibo. This mechanic definitely has two sides to it, but it just felt a bit odd when I scanned my Samus Amiibo and got a Super Mario Bros. 3 attached to it, and not Super Metroid. Overall, Amiibo Tap, Nintendo's Greatest Bits, is an application with an intriguing concept, but is hindered by the fact that you're only playing a 3-minute demo of a classic Nintendo game. If the game was more fleshed out, it could have definitely held people's interest a bit longer. But it's quite obvious that the main goal of Amiibo Tap is to simply pique the interest of a player who has never experienced these games. The audience for this is mostly a younger crowd, those who are just getting their first Nintendo console and are interested in exploring the company's past. At the end of the day, this application is completely free, so there's no harm in downloading it and giving it a try for yourself. I wouldn't say I hate this game, it's just not what I was hoping for. Nintendo's not dumb. Though they really seem like they are at times, that's not the point. They obviously know Amiibo are selling extremely well. It's only a matter of time before we get a fully fledged game based around these figurines. Amiibo Tap is just testing the water, letting us dip our toes in and showing us what these toys can do. Without a doubt, I'm sure we will see something much more interesting for our Amiibo in the near future.